Hello everyone, Totally YGO here, take two. Hopefully it'll be the last. Well, not just came back. It is currently Wednesday, 4 days after Wisconsin Regional, which I got placed 30th with my favorite deck, probably of all time at this point, Ritual Beast. Love this deck to death. Main deck felt great. I still think I could have done better on. Same thing with the extra. I'll talk about that when it comes up. I think the side deck was a little. I think it was okay. I think my list was pretty decent. I must admit, JoJo ASMR helped a lot. Like we didn't talk. But JoJo, I know you're not watching this, but please give me your advice. I need this. Yeah, but a lot of his list, like you can see the similarities between our lists here. Like there's a lot of similarities because he's a great player. Uh, Before we go down to deck list, just want to go out with some shout outs. Shout out to JoJo SMR and Cody for my Ritual Beast inspiration. You got the combo videos are great. Corey Brown talks to this guy all the time. Well, not all the time. I try to, but yeah, Ritual Beast Go. He really helped me when getting better at Ritual Beast. Really appreciate him. Also, shout out to a lot of my testing buddies. Corey, Bernard, Will, you guys know who you are. Appreciate you guys. My close friends and everyone in Chris's Big Gabunga. Y'all are amazing. Thank you guys for your constant support. And let's get into the deck. Uh, Setup has changed a little bit, as you can see. You can see the mess around my desk a lot better now. Hopefully I'll clean this up for future deck profiles. Let's just start with the three ofs. 3 Elder, 3 Spiritual Beast, Tamer Laura, 3 Canahawk, and 3 Rinpengu, not Euro OG yet. But yeah, these are the cards you want to be seeing in your opening hand. Like, if you can see a combination of basically any of these, you are doing a good job. Uh, plus, I mean, they all work together amazingly. Like, these top three work worse with each other, but like any one of these plus any one of these is like an amazing combo. Like you have a clean line which can probably protect you on Nib if you have another Ritual Beast card, but just always gonna be good. You always want to see Canary really. Elder is really Elder is one of your most important cards, especially going second. Like these are very important going second. Like opening one of these makes it so you have a much higher chance of playing through a board, especially with like negates. I think Elder really helps when you're playing against negates. I think Laura is better against like what's it called? Not negates, but like removal. Her protection effect, the fact you can make Nochi to protect you really quickly. I think it's pretty good. And I think Elder is really good into negate since like if you go normal Elder, they Veiler because they're stupid, but no, it's not realistic. It's like really like if you go like normal summon Veiler, excuse me, you go normal summon Elder, like normal Canna, they like negate Canna effect. You can make Canna Hawk to return. They try to negate it. You can tag out, summon two more, go Canna again. Like again, like you can just like eat these negates quickly, and like you still technically have a lot more gas than you know because you have like make Nochi. You can still get to Lar, which gets you another name. You have Kumanfuck. You have other cards in hand. You've already hand trapped them. Like realistically, like he really helps you against negates, and Law being able to banish yourself plus get you a plus by summoning from deck is amazing. Excuse me. Also, look at this, so pretty. Yeah, I try to make this stuff as pretty as possible. Yeah. Uh, Also, I must note I did draw Canna a lot of times this tournament, like a really surprising amount. And yeah, I mean that's why I love him. This is my son. All right. Uh, get to the one ofs. All these guys are great. I don't think I cut a single one of them. I got a friend really wants me to cut Palpatine. He's like, Pink Dolphin is not the way. And I'm like, no, Pink Dolphin's crazy. I mean, you don't really play Pink Dolphin because of the effect. Honestly, I thought you did when I first put in deck, but I'm like, wow, effect's kind of irrelevant. It's kind of cute to bounce back like a set card. And sometimes there's some things I like to do with Canahawk with it, where if you go like if you summon it off of Canahawk and you search up Canahawk, you're not really searching up Canahawk because that half the time you're just adding something to banish it. So sometimes this just becomes Canahawk, like OG Canahawk, and not, but like with ulti Canahawk, it turns into Canahawk plus it's a bounce. Also, it's decent going into boards, but honestly, a lot of the time you don't like using it into boards because like you don't want it to get destroyed to like turn off Canahawk plays or ulti Canahawk plays. So it's not actually like super good into a board. I like using it after I've special summoned it already. So even though it is a soft once per turn, can't tell mine because I'm pretty sure it's in German. Yep. Enmail plus. Okay, I don't want to offend anyone. Yeah, out of these five, I think my favorite's got to be Apelio. I love him. I love the banishing for cost. So good, especially since like he doesn't love to eat imperms, but like it is very nice how he's one of those like Neptivus cards. It's like the relevant part is he banishes, but since he is already doing something by getting 500, they're like, oh, he's like what like. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I tell people what he does, even though this one's in English. Usually I just slap the English ones down and say, read. But basically, I'm like, banish one, gain 500. And then he's like, okay, input. I'm like, okay, it's cost. And like, I don't know, someone once tried to tell me that's misrepresenting the game state. Like, you asked what it did, I told you what it did. If someone in the comments wants to tell me I'm a terrible person for that, fair enough. Winda is also your most important card in imports. Like, crashing Winda is like the difference between winning or not winning. And she's really good into a Rise Heal thing, except, like, if you're able to, like, bait out, what's it called? Cross and she resolves, you're winning. Like, it's nice. But also at the same time, Cross is really good at eating ulti Canahawk to summon two from Banish. So at the same time, like Cross, since she and Canahawk both have something that's really high priority, your opponent will always have to choose. And it's usually gonna be this probably, because this crash into Rhea Victoria gets you so much. Rhea Victoria is gigantic, it punches over something immediately. It gets you another normal summon. It's just really great. The two revives are great. They do target, unfortunately, but they also can revive anything. Um, like your Link monsters, or most importantly, Rhea Victoria. Like, these are some of your best follow up. Like, going second, not going second, but like turn three, they're like one of your best cards. Also, like opening them is not the best, honestly. Like, there's some decent lines, like SPTL Laura plus Old Laura, where you go like SPTL, pitch it, summon this back, make Canna, this effect, summon from that Canna, then you go Canna banish with Pengu, like, and then you just keep going. Like, it's like an okay line, plus you have an extra normal summon on top of it. But yeah, these guys are great. No complaints about them. I think I did Wick on, I think it was Wen one time today, but apart from that, not too bad. Two Inheritance. I think this is a ratio I've been playing for a while. I actually played three Inheritance for a long time, and I really liked it. But like now, but like I've never opened all three Inheritance, but like just in my mind, if I open all three Inheritance one day, I feel like I'm just gonna lose. Inheritance is fine. It's really susceptible to Ogre, which I'm not a fan of, because like this deck has like no clean way to Ogre it. Like, I guess you can hit the link for, but like 90% of the time Law is engraved, and then the other 50% of the time they're just like adding back and normal summoning Laura, which is gonna immediately revive it after you ogre it. Plus you can't ogre into Shifter, so yeah, ogre is just like not great. But this is like one spot ogre really hurts. And also it's really telegraphed. Like, a lot of the time I try to reveal something like I do not care about. Like, depending on the hand, like if I show like Apelio usually, like let's say I have like Canna Apelio, chances are I'm gonna show them Canna, or sorry, I'm gonna show them Apelio because they think I really need this to resolve, so they're gonna waste like disruptions. But like going first, I'd still probably show Apelio because I want them to think I really like, need a starter, and they're like, oh, I can just implement this, or I can just like Ash the starter or whatever. But like you can just like pick up Elder, and then Elder Canna plays through pretty much any single trap. Uh, yeah, I can't name one hand trap doesn't fully play through. I mean, it's a two card combo. You'd hope so, right? But yeah, I don't have like too much of a problem with Inheritance. I love the defense. I love the attack lower. Honestly, I think that's my favorite part of the card. Then there's like the attack switch. I never got to do it. I get to use this effect so little, even though like there's so many times where it looks good come up. Switching to Baguska to attack, Chandra, putting it to defense, looking attack. Just so many good things. Doesn't come up too often. Coolest things you usually do with it is in lethal lines, you tag out an ulti Apelio and to summon back something and flip it to attack and punch. Also, that looks like massive BM because most people don't know they have to summon back in defense, so they look like you're just being an asshole, but no, you're just playing legally. Steeds, not too much to note about Steeds. Really like this card. I'd play a second one in a perfect world, but we don't live in said perfect world. Uh, it's unfortunately a brick, and I have bricked on it, which is unfortunate. It is the first one of the first cards that comes out post side. which sucks. Like a lot of the time, I really want to keep it in going second because like a lot of times like you need to use your battle phase to break the board a lot of the times, especially because of the existence of window crash technology, which is like you best going second tool pretty much, especially as someone who doesn't know what you're doing. I mean, if they're stupid enough to not read the card, go for it, bro. Yeah, that's one. But like Steeds doesn't really matter when you can just Proto them. So Steeds is still great though. A lot of the time, I have a bad habit of setting this when I have Ulti-Guy Pelio on field. Even though a lot of the time my friends are right, we're just better to hold it as an Omni. But like it does play like it is really hard to beat Ulti Pelio with just like cards since he's not once per turn or once per chain. So as long as you just keep like a smash and shit into it. Also, Ulti-Guy Pelio is like the best card ever going side. Turn 3, and I'll talk about that later. Flag Protos did not play Corridor. You can see him right here actually, and he is actually in the current list, but not the list I played for Wisconsin. And now I think is a perfect time to talk about Nemesis Corridor fucking me in my last round, where I was selected for the random deck check, and guess who was on my list but not on my actual deck. Oh boy, was I upset because that got me a game loss, and I knew I would have beaten that guy if I just didn't get the game 1 loss. It was so tough. But hey, I mean, just is what it is, I guess. I said to myself, I'm never playing Corridor again. 4 days later, he's back in the list. But yeah. I didn't think I needed him at the other round. Honestly, he never like really came up today. The one time I wish I had him was against Shark because I literally had to side out my Protoss and Flag. I'm like, wow, this is so nasty. It was, and it was in fact really nasty. Uh, Protoss is amazing. Yeah, he's just the best. He's your plan going first. He's your plan going second. I was blind calling light. The plan was to blind call light. Only one time did I resolve it, and that's because like my opponent gassed him and thinking he was on Malice. But like we had a long talk about it like before the round started because we were getting deck checked, and I'm just like, oh, I think he's on. I think he's on Malice or like New Bell. So I called dog. He was on what's it called? Beamsmith Musket. I'm like, oh shit, I should have just called light. But don't worry, we still won that game. Book of Eclipse did a lot, and then it was just the fight to flip Protoss. It's funny, I actually called light. I'm like, okay, now what? Because like this would have destroyed my ulti guy at Pelio, but he just scooped the second I called him. I'm like, oh my god, thank you. I did not have it in the bag. But don't worry, he put the prize in the bag. Oh yeah, Protoss crazy, wiped the board. For consistency, I played one Prosperity. I've never been a fan of this card because I'm like, oh, I just want to keep everything. But that is just because I'm a bad player. Yeah, I just struggled with like seeing what I don't need. But like honestly, my banishes are just so fast nowadays. I'm like, yeah, I don't need half of this junk. Like a lot of stuff you really do not need. Like you'd be surprised how much you can play without. Like before, I was like, oh, but like, what if this comes up? Or like, what if this comes up? Like I'm like, oh, I banish IP. Obviously, I'm not going first. But like, oh, the second no cheat. Well, what if I just go into a grind game? No. Do you know what this code does? It means the game's over within once. You do not need a grind game. You can get rid of your grind game tools with this. One of my favorite cards in the deck now, Emergency Teleport. Look at these beautiful E-Tellies that I was able to pick up at the regional. Just majestic. Oh yeah, single sleeve by the way. Oh yeah. Let me get him to the camera. Oh, the shine. Amazing. Only one first ed. We will be working on that though. Yeah, I love this. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck, to be honest, because every single line is just so cool. I love E-Telly line. I think it's an amazing extender. It's your best way to beat Molchami Purlia, which I only got Purlia once, and he just had Lance as well. So, like, it was a meek and wildly buns. I'm pretty sure I just went, like, E-Telly for Laura, and I believe it was an Apelio in hand. Obviously, what you do there under, what's it called? Under Purlia's, you just set the Apelio contact for, what's it called? Kanahawk, blah blah blah. Also, something people love to get wrong about this line is they set first and then they E-Telly. But then if you get your E-Telly Ash, your card set is completely dead. And you'd rather have that in hand to bait a hand trap. Or if it's something like Kanahawk or Pengu, which is full combo by itself, you'll need to normal summon it. So you always E-Telly first before you do the other thing. But yeah, I love E-Telly. E-Telly is amazing. Non-engine. Now I'm just gonna slap it all down at once. I played one Ogre, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Shifters, 3 Book of Eclipse, Called by, and Imperm. You seen the similarities to JoJo ASMR's list yet? Yeah, honestly, I really liked this. I believe he played Jewel and Lockwood over Dimension Shifter, which he said was wrong back in his day, but also he was playing in a format with like a Volcanic, so there's less justification for Shifter. You know, I did really like Shifter today. I'll admit, I think I drew it twice the entire day. Once was against Shark, and the other one was against Gimmick Puppet, and I'm like, wow, my engine could have beat that, but like, whatever. But yeah, Shifter is crazy. I love Shifter. He's one of the only hand I have in QC because the other ones are super expensive. He played JoJo Small played one ogre, and I really like the reason why I played one ogre because it's just a decent last card. It's good off the top. You can E-Telly into it going second and going first, so E-Telly becomes a disruption with this. It trades really well with Desiree, which I don't want to say. I mean, my deck doesn't struggle too much with Desiree, but it's still something that it does check really easily. Book of Eclipse kind of just felt like butt, but I think that's just because like the Rizio players I played against just like I didn't see it against them, or they just had the out. Like I'd Eclipse, they'd Dash. I'm like, that's tough. Even though one of my Rizio opponents were like the only person who like genuinely outskilled me. Shout out to Eric, he cooked my shit. Like, yeah, that wasn't even a fight. You know, and I'm willing to admit when someone's better than me, he cooked the shit. Really felt good about the rest of my non-engine. I kind of wish I was on full hand traps, but like I want to. I don't know. Book of Eclipse is okay. A card I've been considering is Salesman. I got that from idea from my friend Cody, who said he got it from Corey, and I'm like, maybe that is good. But my problem with a card like Salesman, it doesn't beat the stuff you can just chain to it, like Charmies or Lance, but it does beat Nib. You can go like call Detonator going second. It's just cute. It's a cute little card that helps your lines. But I think Eclipse is a little bit better because a lot of the time it beats Nib better. It beats what's it called better? Imperm. It doesn't beat Detonator, but like at least forces like plug-in and stuff, so it's not terrible. Can't hate Eclipse. I think Eclipse is good enough. Plus dodge Imperm on Protos. Amazing. Move on to the extra now. The extra I think is probably where like the most deck building errors I had came in. I'm gonna go with the Ritual Beasts first. Played 2 Canna, 2 Nochi, a Pelio, Ulti-Guy Pelio. I after this tournament understand why 1 Nochi is probably correct. Then the second one's great. Honestly, I really like the second Nochi. It comes up a decent amount of time in your grind game, especially. But realistically, like as Jojo Small said, the game is pretty much always over on turn 1. And because of that, the second Nochi is not needed. If it does, you have flag to put it back. You have corridor to put it back. You have corridor to add back flags to then put it back again. Like realistically, you should not need a second Nochi 99% of the time. I think that most of the time you would be fine. Even though, I mean, there were some times where I'm like, oh, second Nochi. If I didn't have second Nochi, I was cooked. But yeah, this came up, I believe, once today just for pushing for lethal. A lot of time, like when you're pushing for lethal and after you Protoss your opponent and they refuse to scoop, like it happens on DB mostly. Like I remember I was against a Tempai player, wiped out his entire board, called fire. He had 0 cards in hand, but I missed lethal, and I just like show him the Ash for like anything, and he just wouldn't scoop. I'm like, okay. But yeah, this does come up sometimes for like after you loop Canna a few times, then you just like turn your final thing after you can't special anymore into this, or when you can special one more time if you have an inheritance, switch something to attack for more damage. One thing to remember is I might have mentioned this in my last video, he is not buffed by Apelio for no reason. Well, there is a reason. He's unaffected by all card effects, including your own. So he loses attack. He goes back to his OG, so be careful. He is not a 31 beat stick with Apelio. He is a 26 beat stick. You can, I mean, if you want to cheat, you might get away with it, but still. Ulti-Guy Apelio. Yeah, this is like the best card in the deck. Anytime you open him with like 2+ cards in your Ritual Beast cards, you're just like, oh, incredible. I play for free. Well, not for free, but like, you beat Nib all the time with this card. I remember one of my Rizio opponents, his hand, he bricked, and his hand was, I believe, plug-in. It was like plug-in, plug-in cross, no, not cross out. Okay, plug in a card that was just dead and 3 Nibiru. And I just did the I did the Laura Canna line, and then I was at no official point. I look at him, he's like, yep. Put emphasis for names. That's good. That's pretty much how it went. It was amazing. Yeah, he told me after that he had 3 nibs. It was great. Then he lanced me twice, so that wasn't very cool, but whatever. Yeah, a cool guy though. Very chill. Love him. Link monsters, 1 Falco, 2 Toya. Another case of objectively correct ratios, in my opinion. I've been playing 1 Falco, 2 Toya for the longest time, and I just love the second Toya. I genuinely tell my friends that sometimes the second Toya comes up more than the first Falco. Like, especially going second, because you crash one for window, you link climb into a second one, and just great. Falco isn't great too, but like you really only need one. And he's another case of recycles himself really easily. But I don't know how this. But like Nochi is much easier to get to, which is why it took me more convincing to play only one Nochi. When I go to Rosemont, I probably will be playing one Nochi if I'm still in Ritual Beast, but like chances are, yeah. By the way, net deck you free will. I don't care. Uh, in fact, don't play my list because I think my list was like a little bit lacking. I wish I played a Colossus, but because of the better lines under Nibiru and like when you have awkward hands. Also, he just like I don't know. I'll have to do more testing with Porto. Personally, I think he's like okay. Some people really love him, some people really do not, and I totally understand both sides. But yeah, Kumifalco great, tag out into 2, great, stops Requiem, stops Genroku, stops Deception. Half those codes are funking irrelevant now, but it's what it is. Played Link Spider. Came up only one time, and I still lost that game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like too important. I just want to check something. Okay, yeah, I didn't even need to do it. I turned the nib token into a little knight, and I think another time I turned a nib token into this in the Typhon. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, you can't use a token for. I was like, wait, why didn't I just slap this over the token? But yeah, you can't use a token for Typhon. Oh yeah, I played Typhon. We'll get to Typhon. I have a few notes on him. Yeah, Link Spider. I don't know. I hate Link Spider. I think it's cool, dude. He really helps a lot with your anti-Nibiru lines, especially through like certain choke points and awkward combos, especially with like Dominus Impulse gets included. Okay, not Dominus Impulse, but like I'll remember at the end. Cross Sheep didn't come up pretty much a single time today, which I'm pretty sad about. I think this is one of my favorite codes in testing, but just really hard for it to come up like effectively. Because like a lot of your fusions are accept no cheat or high investment. Like sometimes it's very nice to go like two things in the cross sheep and then cross sheep provides something. But like again, like cross sheep isn't like super good into some stuff. I think cross sheep is better if you blind corridor over blind light, because then on the follow up, like after you know what they're trying to do, then you just go like link away your stuff with like you go like Toya, like add back Lara, don't normal summon something else, link it away for cross sheep, summon no cheap, cross sheep bring back flag effect, add Protos then and you block up Toya and then you just have a lot of pushes. And then you have, and now Protos is a part of your push. Even though it's a part of your push, if it's on your end board, don't link away Protos, guys. He's really crazy. Masquerena SP. I've been Masquerena's biggest hater in this deck for a decent amount of time. I'm like, oh my god, she just never comes up. I never have the materials to make her. But like, she actually came up a decent amount of time today for half boards and just being a part of an end board when I didn't Protos called Dark. Honestly, really, I didn't hate her at all a single time. I think one time I just had a, especially since like she's nice to link climb with into Toya if you like nothing else. Like sometimes you just want to save cross sheep and you don't have prosperity, just banish her face down off of. But yeah. Uh, SP is great. She's basically engine banishing your Banshee, banishing some other cards like like banish your own flags or Porto kind of back. She has a lot of cute lines. Plus, like I believe one time in the tournament I had like a Little Knight on field. Like the situation was like Little Knight and like two guys, and like I ended up like linking the two other guys. Or sorry, I ended up linking two guys into Little Knight, so I had to end Pengu. And now I could slap my Typhon over in Pengu instead of Little Knight. night. I think that was decent. I still lost that game. It was Typhon's like I don't like Typhon, especially in a combo deck like with Jewel Beast. Like if you need to hit Typhon, you probably weren't winning anyway. Banshee, not a lot to say about this. Sums yourself back. Attack boost sometimes matters. You can search a Pelio for follow up or dump it. Get flag. Don't forget you can dump flag. That's another thing. Like if there's a really cool play around draw line where you can go like a Banshee effect where you can like not activate Canna a single time, go Banshee effect to dump flag and then Proshi bring it back, and then go flag search Protoss as your first search to play around draw. But yeah, there's also just like some lines where it's better to do that, especially if you don't have cards banished, even though it is pretty high investment, I will admit. And then yeah, last card was Typhon. This was made in this choice to play Typhon was made in genuinely 5 minutes, if even. I believe I had Pit Knight early over this. I called it like over IP Masquerade for the longest time. I'm like, I just don't want to play Pit Knight and IP. I just don't want to play more Endboard pieces. And I'm like, what could I play? And like I got some mid suggestions, like Baguska, Buns. I really don't like that card to beat Lancia because they just, well, not a lot of your hands do it. You need to open like SBTL 2/4s, and like every deck has an out to it, like literally every single one, which I just don't like it. So I decided to play Typhon. I'm like, I guess I can like this is good in the Dead Natter, right? Like really good in the Dead Natter. I can just bounce a Dead Natter, punch over something, and maybe they just won't have the follow up. This deal he didn't check out a single time. Typhon was consistently mid. I was really unhappy with his performance. I'd probably cut him. You can play him if you want, but I don't think I'd play him again. Side deck time. Still playing Cowboy. Came up this time. It was amazing. Yeah, I decided to be a nice guy and not slow play my opponent because originally I went to this regional for fun. So I was gonna be like, I'll just slow play you and then Cowboy you. No, I did the combo fast, but I did still Cowboy. But if you Cowboy, you usually cannot Protoss unless I don't say your hand's crazy, but like you like play into everything and just like be like really greedy with your names. So I just ended on like Cowboy, Tori, set Book of Eclipse. And also he was undershifted, by the way. And then he went at one point he went Talon's Take after I Toria'd. Then I flipped Book of Eclipse to put my Cowboy face down. Then he flipped it, and it had to be an attack. I'm like, amazing. It was the best part of the entire tournament for me. Shout out to Cowboy. 3 Fuaros. I can't complain. I really like Fulos today. I think Fulos cooked pretty well. Really cool card. When it's not being used against me, I really hate playing against this card. This is like one of my least favorite cards. But yeah, helps into it's a really easy thing to side in going second, which I appreciate about it at least. And like I didn't draw it too many times. I did draw it against a Malice player, and I hit him with it twice in a row, and he thrusted. With similar Fiends, and I actually won that game. Oh yeah, this is just a side note. I don't mean to hate on anyone, but oh my god, I'm sorry, but the judges at the event were just miserable. I remember it's always my Shulk opponent I'm talking about. He was also a really cool guy. I believe it was this combo right here. And I go normal summon Elder, the classic, I'll affect Baylor. Great. I'm like, normal summon Penguin. He's like, wait, you guys do it? I'm like, yep. I'm like, we can call a judge to be safe because like people ask this all the time, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, we're gonna get an extension, and he just explains it to you, and now you've already made the mistake. I know you're not gonna do it again, and I know I'm right. Like he believed me. Like he's like, oh man, that sucks. But like, I'm just like, are you sure you want to call a judge? And like, yeah, I kind of want to know why. So we call a judge, and and after like, the judge just could not understand that it was like a condition, or I don't know if condition's even the word, but like the judges could not understand that it is not an activate effect, and the second it hits the field, it applies and not it doesn't start a chain. And after like genuinely like 5 minutes, like two judges actually came back and they said they decided I cannot normal summon. Thank God I appealed that. I cannot believe the head judge was the only person in the room that did not know that. Like, or that did know that. Like, that was kind of sad. For Malice, I played 2 lands, 2 Nib. This is again the Jojo ASMR ratio. I'm like, this is kind of cute. I might just play a 3rd lands, but like I like Nib because I like 2 Nib because it pretty much just acts as lands against Malice like 99% of the time. Okay, not 99% of the time, like a good Malice play around it. like I just really like the fact about it is that I can put it into more decks much more easily. Because like the thing about playing 3 lands is like now you one of your cards like now I'd only be putting in like 1 card against a miscellaneous deck when I can put in 2 when I can still put in all 4 against Malice, which is something I really liked about this ratio. I played 2 talents on the side. This is like again the most sporadic decision I made. Was this right? I want to say like 0% chance. Uh, Playing 1 is fine because I do play Thrust Package. I'm just gonna lay it out now to save us time because like this is 30 minutes already. I am so sorry. But yeah, played 2 talents. Can't. I don't think I like even like resolved it once. I think I might have. It was pretty mid. Probably would. In the future, I don't think I'm gonna play Thrust Package again because like Thrust Package was fine. Like they Lancia, Fualos me. I just do this, but like I don't know. Like I think my new technology is gonna be better. It's one of those things like I want to share with you. I want you guys to become better, but I kind of want to leak the goo. Even though it is. It's not like too new goo. I know. I'll make a deck profile on it soon. I don't have even other cards on me, so I can't show you. Let's just say it's kind of degen. But yeah. Again, not too much to note here. I played Sanctum over similar, which means I don't. I don't know. Performed fine. Didn't. I think I didn't open Thrust a single time, but I did hard open D barrier again against Shark. I don't know. I have so much to say about that. Yeah. Overall, fun regional. I had a great time. Shout out to my friends for coming with me. Shout out to all my opponents for being amazing people, like a lot of really friendly people. I met a lot of people that I've seen again. Like my round 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, and 4 were all against people I'd played at previous regionals. Like it was so fun to see all their faces again. Had an amazing time. Thank you, the viewer, for watching. I love making these videos. I love showing off my pretty rarities and what I've been able to do. It's great fun for me. It's great motivation. No one ever interacts with the comments, but if you do, I will always respond. My DMs are always open to. Username on Discord's my logout. Hit me up. I'm always down to talk about anything Yu-Gi-Oh related. Anything really. Not to sound desperate for friends, but yeah. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Peace out.